I didn't want to waste your time with some annoying intro and brain-damaging music, but I also didn't want to sing cheap. So I created some sort of intro banner and threw it right onto some short preview video material. Hope you like it. I really do. In fact, please tell me how bothersome that was to you from 1 to 10. 1 is you enjoyed it, and 10 means you can feel the resentment in your chest. Thank you. Now to the actual video. This is the first video in the Becoming a Capable Drone Pilot series that kinda started with last video, my channel preview, featuring my first tries in a drone simulator called Velocidrone. It's the same simulator that you can see right here, right now. I'm using the Switchblade again. I've tried some other drones, but this one was really love on the first sight. It feels very unhinged. I mean, it doesn't feel safe stabilizing at all compared to the other drones here. It's very reactive and fast, without being uncontrollable at low speeds, although difficult. This series starts with practicing in the sim and then transitions to real drones. I will build the drones myself, and that's gonna be a separate series, but that will not be focused on until I'm a somewhat decent drone pilot. This series will include skill-based challenges, practice self-made tracks in natural environments, and some eye-candy material. Of course, but first I have to master the sim. Throughout this process, I will track and publish my expenses to make sure you know how deep they plundered my pockets, as well to later calculate wins and losses. That will be important for another money-focused series in the further future. After all is said and done, my channel should be able to give you an estimate of how it is to enter the FPV field in terms of investments, fun, learning curves, the technical stuff and whatnot. Enough announcements for now. As you can see, I'm slowly progressing over time, and it's actually hard to tell why or how. I really just get a tiny little bit better every time I start up the sim. It's probably unconscious, at least that's what I think. But I also focus on improving my motions and finger coordination, if that makes any sense. I think it's important to control it in a soft flow or dance-like way. Mostly when I use hard or rash movements, I either had to scrape a tight curve with high speed, change direction quickly, or I simply crash. Also, I feel like the thrust itself is one of the most important controls to change direction, because as you push, the drone changes its rotation, and that has to be factored in. In fact, you even have to use it. Really? I feel like I either feel the flow of the drone in the moment, or I'm hitting the sticks in panic trying to keep it from crashing while following the route. But if I relax and try to assume the thrust and direction with some confidence, it's going a lot better. Sometimes. Since my first start of the sim, I have tried a few different maps and tracks. Well, there are only 4 maps. And so about 6 hours in, I discovered this cute little track, and it made me feel like trash. Really, it frustrates me, but I feel like it's going to leave me a better person. Pilot-wise, of course. If you have played Sekiro, you know what I mean. Great game, really. This map combines fast and long with tiny and sharp curves and weird as hell twists and twirls that I never had to fly before, and I think that's it. That's exactly what I have been looking for. I also love how it's not too short and it's parted into 3 areas. Well, buildings really. But that's great, and most importantly, it's really fun. The first challenge was to fly a clean loop around the red pole without losing momentum or direction. Then it is still hard enough to cleanly leave the first shed and enter the pole structure. Just after that, I have to make this vertical oval loop with a slight offset to the left, very hard. And then corkscrew around the beam without hitting anything, especially the damn beam itself. And finally, I'm struggling with this high precision, low speed NASA docking training in the very end. But after around 8 to 9 hours of total sim time, I was able to finish a lap. Just not a clean one. I will need some more training on here. What do you guys think is the hardest track in the sim? And what do you think is the most difficult sim overall? And if there's anything you can recommend me to improve that has helped you before, let me know. For now, I'll keep practicing with this sim. I've heard that there's even some sort of Minecraft FPV simulation mod. I really have to check that out. And again, feel free to connect with me or simply tell me your thoughts. That's what I'm on YouTube for after all.